I'll share my screen. So are you folks able to see my screen? All right.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. So Amelia has asked a question like she was using npx serve and not able to see the application. Instead, she saw the folder. So it might have looked something like this. Let's say I'll tell you why I changed the index.html. But now the application is running in port 3000. I'm opening. So this is what you have seen, right, Amelia?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say go back and change this. Now if I refresh, the application is there. So the reason is like by default, when we are running HTTP server, any HTTP server, so it will look for a file called index.html. So if it is there, it will directly execute it. Once it starts executing the index.html, obviously the application will run, the JavaScript will execute, and the browser will take care of parsing the DOM structure and displaying the application. But if there is no index.html, you don't know what file to serve, so that it will decide to list all the files. So that is what happened. So in your root folder, if you have HTML file, name it as index.html and then run npx serve, it will work. Okay.
Yeah, I did the same, sir. I refreshed also, but it's
Okay.
showing me the same.
You have index.html in your root.
So inside, I have created the folder. Inside that, I have index.html and the JavaScript file.
Okay. Share your screen. Maybe we will debug it here itself. Yeah.
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 This is the index.html file, and this is the JavaScript file.
Makes sense. So where did you run your npx? So go to the terminal.
Yeah.
Oh, can you delete this terminal and create a new one? Also, that port thing, right? Is it appearing in the left side? Can you close this? Okay. Now, yeah, create a new terminal.
Here
Okay.
only. I
Got it.
need to go inside the folder, this API folder.
Correct. CD.
Yeah.
Now run npx serve. Now it should work.
Yeah. That time I did that, sir, but I didn't refresh it. So
Yeah, maybe
yes,
that could.
yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Can you continue showing your demo or?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Like I have just did the thing like what you explained in the class to show. After that, I didn't go for it because I now only I got. I'll do share my things useful.
Okay. So, Arvind,
Yes, sir.
okay, can you share your screen?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
This is the one I have created.
Okay. Can you explain your code?
So I didn't include any CSS file. I just completed it using that HTML and the JS file.
Okay.
So in index file, I don't have any other tags, just an div tag with the ID as content. And initially it should show like loading the data. So that's the text I have put into it. Then we are going to JS. So initially I have created a variable called content div. So where I have selected a content element by ID. Then I
Right.
have used this API. So I
Mhm.
just simply searched on Google like JSON placeholder API. So I got this one website. So I used. Then I have then so here I will get the response as a um, passed as an argument. So if it is okay, if it is response was successful, that status is 200 to 299, it will return the response in JSON format. So else it will throw an error called fail to do load. So that's the thing. Then here initially it will show like loading data. So then we have to include the contents from that API. So I have initially I have cleared that loading data using empty strings.
Okay.
Then this item means the thing that the post that we got from the API. So it may contain ID and like title, body. So for this purpose, I have taken only the title from that. So I have used for each loop to loop every item in that. So and I created a new paragraph item, so paragraph tag to display that. And after getting the title from that item, I have stored in text content and I appended to that initial content div element. So that's where the content is displayed. So if it shows any error, I have to catch that error. So I have used the text content equal to error, and this error message is indicates that this failed to load. So if any problem occurs, it will shows like that. So let me show that also. For example, so it will show like error failed to fix.
Okay, good job. You could have added some CSS as well since we have completed our CSS class.
Yeah, sir. But the main attraction here is like doing this function promises and like so I didn't.
Combine all the learnings. That is how it works. Okay. So you are keep on learning on top of each class, right? So you have completed your CSS class. Now you are coming to your JavaScript class. Now still you need to apply that CSS. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So remember it. Otherwise, if you don't use it, it won't stay in your mind. You will forget it. That's it.
Sure.
All right. Okay, I have one question though. Can you? Okay, from line number 9, response.json.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You already got the response.json. Then why are you doing a dot then and then getting the data and looping it? Is there any reason? So there is a reason behind it. Do you know why we are doing it?
Yeah, sir. Actually, by initially it will be in different data. So when we use response.json, it will render our data into JSON format. So after that, we can use.
Right, which means it is in a different format. It is not the actual JSON, but what is that format?
So it will be like actually I forgot about it.
Okay. So like you have downloaded a zip file. Everybody knows zip file, right? Download a zip file. Once you download the zip file, doesn't mean you can directly open it. You need to unzip it and then only you can access the folder. Correct?
Yes.
So it is something like that. Not exactly like that, but stream is like it's a flow of data, incoming flow. Let's say the JSON is very large. You keep on processing it. So let's say the server is sending the JSON chunk by chunk. Okay. You keep on reading it. So that particular stream is also async. So what I have told you, JavaScript is a single-threaded programming language. If everything is synchronous and the JSON is keep on coming and browser is keep on handling, what happens?
So it may take some time to execute.
Correct. So the browser is busy reading this JSON if it is synchronous. So the user can't even move the mouse or anything. So the main thread is totally blocked. So that's why this response.json is asynchronous. Now, when you put dot then, so it will synchronously read it and then it will display it. Okay.
Only after getting the response, we used to.
So immediately your question will be like, now we are synchronously reading it. Won't it block the thread? Yes, it will block the thread if the response.json is very large. Any doubts in this? Because this is very important. I have seen candidates in the interview who don't put response.json, they directly try to access the response. Even 3 years, 4 years experienced people. Okay, so it's a very important concept. Even if you go to the interview, people will ask this. Okay, if you have any doubt, yeah. Awesome. What else? I think other things are fine. So what else you have? You have paragraph or text content equal to item.title. So let's say I have some HTML content. Can I append the HTML content as well and render the HTML there inside the paragraph? Or let's say creating a div there instead of the paragraph. In the div, you are displaying that created paragraph. What will you do? Still you do text content, or is there any other thing?
Can you ask one more time?
Okay. So let's say instead of paragraph, change that const paragraph to div or container.
This one.
Yeah. Change it to or add one. Add a add a constant on top of it, like const container equal to before the paragraph. No, not like this. Like define a new constant. Correct. Const container equal to document.create element div create element div div. Okay, now instead of doing paragraph.text content equal to item.title, so you already did paragraph.text content item.title, that is fine. Now append this paragraph inside that div. So
this one into that container.
Correct. Put an enter after that item.title, like hit enter after that. Yeah. Now container dot text content equal to paragraph. Now in the append child, replace it with container instead of paragraph. Now go to the browser and try to run this. Okay, so now it is rendering object HTML paragraph element. How will you fix this? So apart from this inner text, have you seen anything else? Yeah, click that. Apart from this text content, have you seen any other thing? So now we are inserting a HTML, not plain text. So before the text content itself worked because it is a plain text. Now it is a HTML, correct? The paragraph is a HTML. You are taking a HTML and then appending to the div. Something called inner HTML. So instead of dot text content in line number 23, add inner HTML. Inner is small and HTML all caps. Yeah. Now try now. Did you save it?
Yes, sir. Start to save.
Okay, try HTML. Okay, I think you need to append it to container.append paragraph. I believe append child paragraph first. Try container.append child paragraph. No. Forget about HTML, just container.append child. So the inner HTML is string content, so that's why it's not rendering. My bad. Instead of container.inner HTML, do container.append child. append child, and instead of equal to, just call it as a function and then enclose it with the bracket. Yeah. Now try this. Ideally, this should work. Okay. Okay, but what I was trying to tell is totally a different thing. Like inner HTML is like, let's say you have a HTML string in place. Okay, then this HTML will be rendered as actual HTML as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right then. Thank you, Arvind.
Thank you, sir.
Jayadarshini,
Yes, sir.
can you share your screen?
Yes, sir. Is it visible, sir?
Yeah. Nice.
So I have created like generating random dog images from the URL endpoint URL. It contains URLs of random dog photos, and that URL will be stored in array and will display the dog images.
Great. Can you show your code?
Yes. This is the HTML.
Mm-hmm.
So I've also used CSS for this.
Okay.
And just a minute.
Yeah. Can you open your script.js?
Yes. This message.
Okay. Can you just walk through it quickly?
Yes. So now I have taken. Now I'm getting the tags from of HTML, the loading error, and the dog images. I'm getting by the element ID, and now here I'm initializing the endpoint URL of the dog images. So in this fetch data, so first I have this. What this does is that in case there are previous text or pictures that were there, now it will be because while reloading I'll have given like loading and random images. So after this function, like if in case there are text, means it will get cleared, so it will be empty.
Nice.
So now I have now I'm fetching the endpoint URL, and then so I'll check if the response the response is okay or not. If it's not okay, I'm throwing the error. Or
awesome.
else I'm rendering the JSON. And then so now in this part of the code, this is the main part where it will be displaying the dog images. So in this data.message, it will be an array of URLs present of the dog images. So.
Okay.
So first so now the image element of so this each image URL is like for each means like it's like for traversing in the array. So first image URL will be the like the 0th index. What image URL will be present, that will be the image URL here. So now the first image will be present in this area, and for each image I'm changing the styles to according to the width and margin and everything. And that I'm appending to the docs container. So in the end, it will be displaying the docs.
Great. Okay, there are so many things you are doing here, like
yes.
image src alt. Can you tell me what is this alt attribute?
Alt is like when we are clicking like on. I mean, when your cursor is on the image, we'll get like the. Actually, sir, it will be like when you're clicking on the image, it will display.
That is a different problem.
Images.
I believe that is title. Actually, you can add something called title. image element dot title. Put a enter after that alt. Yeah, hit enter after that. Image element dot title, I believe, if I'm right. Image element dot title. So you can, if there is a breed name or something, you can add that there. If they are giving,
Right. Currently, I don't know the breed names, so I'm just giving common. Oh yes, now it's coming.
so this is the title. So what is alt in that case? So alt is a short form for alternate. Like let's say your image is not loading, people don't know what is that. So instead you decide to add alternate text there. So just play around with the image URL. Maybe in line number 30 before the semicolon, add a plus. Before the line number 30 before the semicolon, after image URL, do plus, and then empty string. So instead, add some random character there, some yes or some SA. Yeah. Now go ahead and try to load it. You can see the alternate text, right?
Yes.
And the image is broken and the image is not there. You are giving an alternate text. So the alternate text should be meaningful ideally. So in this case, let's say you can put the actual dog's breed or something like that, so that people know. So in this particular place, this particular image was supposed to load. Instead, the image was broken, but I'm loading an alternate text for that. Does everyone understand that? Okay. Right. Great job, Jayadashni. It was good. Like good to see something visual.
Yes.
Can you show me the CSS?
Yes. Sir.
You have a body tag. So do you understand why we are having that star? Can you go to the top?
Yes,
So
that
we
is like
have
for all the
elements. We are doing margin, zero padding. Why are we doing that? And box sizing is border box. Why are we doing that? So we have margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box, and ignore the font family. But explain me these three things. So do you understand?
So
it's okay.
Margin, yes. Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So margin and padding are like the this area of the image.
Yeah. Element, I will show you. So, inspect the element. Go to this computed tab on the right side after styles. On the right side, rightmost side. Go to the rightmost side. I mean, go on the left. Yeah, rightmost side. There is computed. Yeah. So can you expand it? Can you do a command plus? Sorry, control plus. Hit control plus so that it will be zoomed in a little bit. Do some, yeah. Okay. Now expand the developer tab. Go to the top and then pull it up. Move your cursor to the top. Pull it up. Yeah. So now everyone can see it clearly, right? So there is a margin, border, padding. Okay. So yeah, Jayadarshan, you can explain now.
Yes, so this is the margin and padding, which I have made 0 means like if we are giving like padding of like.
Yeah, start from the content. Inside the padding, there is 1519 that is the content actually. So whatever surrounding the content and the container is what? Padding. Okay.
Yes.
And then on the container, you can add a border as well. And then outside of the container, between the container and its adjacent elements, the elements surrounding it, the nearest elements, right? The space between them is called the margin. Okay.
Yes.
Now, go. So initially, you have given a padding 0 and margin 0. The reason is that we call it reset CSS, which means the browser comes up with its own margin and padding. So we are resetting it. So we are saying to the browser, we don't want your own margin and padding. Reset it to 0 before doing whatever. Okay, and there is something called box sizing is equal to border box. So what saying is like, so whatever you are seeing here is called box model. So the box has content, padding, border, and margin. Okay, so when you say box sizing is equal to border box, so what is it exactly? I'm saying it. Am I saying it wrong? Can you go back to your code? With box. Yeah, box sizing border box. Okay, so box sizing border box is nothing but you are saying the browser when you are calculating the overall width of the box, which means overall width including the margin, padding, and the border, include the border size as well. Otherwise, the border size won't be included. So that will be a confusing thing. So whenever you are saying the width of the container, and you have put this property called box sizing border box, it will calculate the width and height of the container, and the width and height of the padding, width and height of the border, and width, and all those things. Okay, so that is how the whole container width works when you put box sizing border. If you don't put box sizing border box and you give a border for 2 pixel, it will ignore the 2 pixel when calculating the overall width and height of the box. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's scroll down. Scroll down. You have something called keyframes. Can I explain what it is?
So, sir, like when I am now,
Jayadeshni?
this line, sir.
Yeah,
You're asking me?
keyframes.
Okay. So this is it is like for creating animations of different styles. Like for example, here we are giving blink. So it defines like
So which
like,
property are you animating here?
sorry.
Which property are you animating here? So in this case, you are animating the opacity property. What is opacity?
If it is the like the transparent opaque of
Transparency.
the
Okay.
yes, sir.
So the 0 to 100%. So between 0 to 100%, you have a opacity 1. When it is 50% within the time frame, you are adding it to 0. Okay. So this is a keyframe animation. Keyframe means it is for each frame you are defining the animation across the timeline. Okay. So across the timeline, you can say when the frame is between 0 and 100%, the opacity will be full. But when it is 50%, so the opacity will be 0. So that is what you're saying here. Okay, and then you name that animation as blink, and then you apply it somewhere. Where are you applying it? Can you search for blink?
It is when should I show in this?
You can show it in the
Wherever.
CSS. Whenever you are hovering,
Here loading. Yeah, when it's loading, it will.
Okay, whenever you are loading it, you are applying. Okay, can you go back to your CSS and show me that?
Yes.
Just search for blink. Control F.
What?
Yeah. Just do a Control F. Yeah. So hit enter. Yeah. So while loading, you are using it, and you are using it for 1 second. That will happen infinitely. It's not like once or twice. It will happen infinitely.
Yes.
So this is how you define animation in CSS. So you have animation property, and then you define animation with the name and keyframes, and then you define what happens in each of the keyframes. So you can add more thing as well. For example, in the 10%, what should happen? In 20%, what should happen? All those stuff. All right. Thank you. Akash.
Sir. Okay, sir. So it's a voice audible, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sir. So this is the output I shown here. Yes. Using JSON placeholder, I fetch the data from the commit from by title and the content in that.
Okay.
So the code is this. So this is styles. I have only 5 styles, so I have given it as an internal itself.
Okay.
And afterwards, and body, and this part, this div is actually used to show the message when being fetched. And this error is it's actually started off as empty. But if I'm going to have an error, if I fetched API is going to catch an error, it's going to add it for enter in the value. And post list is actually going to this part where you can see it in like list format, right? So each time it's going to from converting from object to JSON, and it's going to add one list by one actually. So this is a script. So these three are actually these three this is a DOM element from the IDs, and that's I'm going to use them for that. Though from here onwards. Sorry if actually I'm not in the right condition right now, so I can't speak clearly. So sorry about that.
No worries, no worries.
So this is the fetch API. I'm going to insert this HTML post. So this one's going to, as I said before, it's going to get a whole full data of an array which contains a list actually. So if I want to show you the address, so this is the website where it's going to use. In that, I have used posts actually. So if I'm going to go into it and fetch this. So this is the entire thing which we are going to receive as an array, and in that array, each has having an object. So what the where's it? Then this part on this part is what we're going to do is convert an object to a JSON format so that it will be easier for us to iterate each and everything, and we can able to easily store it in the LA list.
Sorry to interrupt. Like I told you, it's not like you are converting that object to a JSON format. You are converting the stream of response. You are asking the browser to give the whole JSON instead of streaming it. Okay. Again. So when you say dot then after response.json, because response.json is a asynchronous operation. That's why you are doing dot. Okay. Reason you are doing dot then instead of dot then you could have done everything, including the data dot for each loading message. Everything could have been done within the first dot then itself. But the reason why you cannot do that in first dot then is because response.json will return a stream. Okay. When you say then after it, you are synchronously asking it to return the whole JSON immediately. So instead of streaming it, okay. Instead of streaming it, you are asking it immediately. Give me the whole JSON. So that is why you get it in line number 51. Okay, I believe line number 51, right?
Sir.
Not line number 51. You are setting that style to display. You are getting it in line number 49 in dot then data. Okay, then you are going data dot for each post.
Okay,
this is very, very important. You can go and search about this after this meeting, as well as you can find out here as well if you don't understand clearly.
Okay, sir.
Go ahead.
Okay, sir. So after I get in it, and then I'm going to go to data, and first way I'm going to do is actually what will happen is I'm getting a loading data, right? I'm going to actually change the styles as from block to none, so that if I don't use this one and run it, it will always show the loading data, which I don't need it. So for fluid, for making it fluid, I am changing it from block to none. Then afterwards, and using the for each method, I'm going to create an element called li, and afterwards I'm going to use an inner HTML. Actually, this is what actually Sar mentioned it.
Yeah, exactly. So I was wrong initially saying that you cannot do inner HTML on a HTML object. So if it is an
Yes.
HTML object, you need to append it. So let's say
Yeah.
if it's a string with the HTML inside it, then you need to use inner HTML. But there is a security issue in this. Okay, but I will leave it up to you. It's advanced, little bit advanced to what we are studying now. The reason is like when you are introducing random JavaScript inside this, I mean random HTML inside this, what people can do is like they can add a script element and inject some JavaScript there. That is what they call this cross-site scripting attack. When they say cross-site,
Cross-site scripting. Okay.
yeah. So let's say in post.title, instead of just string, they added some JavaScript. Now, since you are using inner HTML, the JavaScript will also execute in the browser. So if it is a malicious JavaScript, it will send some of your personal data to their website or like their server.
Okay.
Okay, uh, that's totally out of the topic. We can talk about that
No,
after.
sir. This actually nothing actually. So thank you, sir, for
Yeah,
this.
you can search about that. It's called cross-site scripting attack. Everyone can go and search about it.
Okay, sir.
Oh,
So
go.
after, okay, sir. So after I'm storing it, and I'm going to open it one by one, so that when you're going to view it, it will be easier for us to for a title and the content in that. It will be shown as that. And afterwards, if I'm going to catch an error, for example, if this is yeah, if I didn't give the get properly,
Hmm.
it'll going to show us data for this is not a function because I didn't get it properly. So that for
Also,
or else if
one more thing. Sorry to interrupt. And one thing is like if I have seen Aravin's code, there is this response dot okay, right, Aravind, in your code, right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
sir.
it's a
Yeah.
score.
So that is a best practice. So the reason
Okay, okay,
why we need to handle that here is like fetch API won't go to the catch block if it is a 400 or 500 error. So 404,
okay,
this API URL is not found, is wrong. It will throw 404, or there is a server error, it will throw 500. Fetch API always won't go to the catch block when there is this kind of errors. That is a small catch with fetch API. Okay.
okay, okay,
So you have to explicitly handle that response.ok and check if the status code is 200. Okay,
okay, sir.
200 or anything around 200. So that's
Yeah,
how you find out it is success. Okay, so
okay, sir.
always make sure to check that in before you return the response.json. Okay.
Okay, so I'll go through that and make changes in this, sir. So that's it. After if I'm going to catch an error, I'm going to again change the loading screen as loading message none, and I'm going to print out the error, what kind of error I have gotten it. So that's about it, sir.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
I think one more person is missing. Who else joined the call? There is one more person missing, I believe, right?
Godwin left.
Yeah, Godwin. Okay. Okay. Um. Okay, no worries. So I'll share my screen. Thanks for all the demos. It was good. And you can improvise it. You can add some styles and then share it to me. I will check that. And if you have any doubt, Crystal, you can ask me. And what else is left from the previous class? We will see that a little bit. We have spoken about the fetch API. And even I have written an article on fetch API in Medium. I will share that article as well, like how fetch API handles or the responses and what else you can do with fetch API as well. I will share that in the group as well. And apart from that, I don't think anybody have used the async and await, right, in your code. Everybody used then, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will talk about async and await a little bit. We have 10 more minutes. We will talk about async and await, and we will transform one of your applications to use async and await. Maybe Akash, can you share your screen?
Yes, sir.
I'll stop sharing. Akash, are you sharing your screen?
Just a sec, it's loading actually.
Yeah, go to your code. Okay, we will quickly transform this to a async and await version. Okay, now create a function on line number 44. Like call it like fetch posts, function fetch posts. Function, write a function. No, a JavaScript function, not actual fetch. Delete this. Function fetch posts. Function. No. Just function. FUNCTION function. Yeah. Function fetch posts without underscores. Camel case. Camel case. Camel cases starts with small letter and every other word start with capital letter. That's how you name functions in JavaScript. And open that function. Bring everything inside this function. From line number 47 to line number 65. Bring everything inside this function. Right. So you can format in VS Code. You know that, right? You can Control Shift P. Do Control Shift P. Format. Type format. Format document. So I believe Shift Alt F is your shortcut. Yeah. Hit enter. Configure. Prettier. Okay, now it is formatted. So one more thing, what you can do is like you can go to your VS Code settings and then you can configure format on save. So every time you save, your code will be formatted as well. Instead of doing Alt Shift F for doing this thing every time. So that also you can do. So okay, that's you can explore on that. Now, talking about async await, async await is nothing but a syntactic sugar on top of this dot. Then when I say syntactic sugar, it's nothing but it's not doing anything extra for performance or anything, but it's like a convenient syntax, okay, for you. So to do that, you need to define that this function is async. So before function, add a word called async. In line number 14, before function, add a word called async. Now it is a async function. Okay. Now, since it is a async function, so it won't wait for the whole function to execute. Any asynchronous operation that happens inside this function should be awaited. Await means you are waiting for that particular operation to finish. So in this case, you are waiting for this fetch API to finish. So in line number 45, put a const, call it posts equal to await space fetch. Okay, now put a semicolon and hit enter in the last. Oh, no. Oh yeah, this is right. At the end of this switch, end of this line, put a semicolon, hit enter. Okay, now so instead of posts, you can call it as response maybe. Yeah, you can call it as response because you need to do the same thing for the JSON as well. Now do the same thing for JSON. Now you call it as data or posts. Put another const below that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, here. Put another const. You can call it as data equal to, what should you put here? Await. Now you are going to await on another promise, which is
response.json.
Response.json. Exactly, correct. Just response.json, nothing else. So you are awaiting for another promise. There are two promises, right? One is the fetch call, Another, once you got the response, like I said, it's a stream. You need to avoid till it fetches the whole JSON. Now put a semicolon and hit enter. You can remove the dot then now. Yeah, remove the dot then data as well. You can comment that line as well. Instead of commenting, you can just remove it so that it will be easier to see. Yeah. I'll tell you another shortcut. Do Control X, go to the line number 46. Go to line number 46. Sorry, 48. 48. Do Control X. Yeah, that's how you remove a line. Okay, now go to line number 57. Control X. Yeah, line number 61. Control X. And you can have that error messages commented out for now. We will add it later. Control X. Now, yeah. So now you got the data there, and loading message dot display equal to none, which you can display here. Yes, this is fine. And you are doing a data dot for each. Now the error handling alone is pending. We will come back to this, but now we need to call this function. So you need to, the function is not properly closed. So line number 44, you can see a red color in the curly bracket, right? So in line number 60, remove that commented curly brackets and then remove the last one. Yeah, remove that last one. Yeah, now you are fine. Do a format now. I think it is messy now. Control Shift P, or I think Shift Alt or something, but do a Control Shift P and then type format. Yeah, hit enter. Next time, remember that shortcut Shift Alt F, I believe. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now you go back and no, you need to call this function now, right? In below that, you can just call that function. Yeah. Okay. Try now. Go to the browser. Okay, it is working fine. You have implemented async await now. What is this error? Fetching data undefined. Okay, I will tell you why. Because this should be handled in the catch block, right? So now we don't have dot catch block. Since we don't have dot, then we don't have the dot catch block as well, right? How do we handle errors now? So instead of doing dot catch, you can use a try catch normally. So after line number 44, hit enter and type try. Yeah. Try. So normal try catch block. So whatever you want to execute, the success case will comes under this try. Open bracket. Hit enter. Till before that two error handling lines, copy everything inside the try block. Yes. Move everything inside the try block. Yeah. Okay. Now after that curly bracket in line number 60, add a catch block.
So, sir?
No, in line number 61, yeah, add a catch block. Correct. Move all the error handling there. So catch block should be a function call because it will return you the error. Call the catch block. Paste it and then call the catch block. Then in there itself, in line number 61 itself, put a function call for the catch block. Put a bracket, open and close bracket in the catch block. Yeah. No, before that line. Correct. After H in the catch. After H in the catch. CATCH, right? After the H, open and close brackets. Yeah. Normal function call. Function call பண்ணுவீங்க இல்லையா?
Okay.
Yeah. Something is wrong here. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you have put the proper curly bracket. Okay. In the try, I think you have not put the curly bracket. Instead, you have put the normal bracket, I believe. Put the curly bracket there. No. Try cannot be called. Try cannot be called. Is it a curly bracket? Yeah. Now add in line number 60. Yes. I think same for the catch block. I need to increase the brightness. Yeah. Now inside the catch block, just add a parameter like E or something like that. Yeah. So this will give you the error. Now do a format again. I don't come here. This is file search. So Control Shift P is different. Awesome. Okay. Now that error should not appear. Only the loading should appear. Okay. So now if you leave any error, you should see the error handling as well. Awesome. So as you can see, this is a convenient syntax, right? So instead of having dot then, you are directly calling await. And one thing you need to understand here is like when you are awaiting, it is totally blocking the main thread. Okay. So same goes with the then. But let's say you have multiple promises. Okay. So in that case, it won't happen parallelly. So it will happen one after another because it will await, call the next one, await, call the next one. It is synchronous. Whenever you are adding a await, it is totally synchronous. So that is something you have to keep in mind. So there are other methods like promise.all, which will make multiple API calls parallelly. So there is something called promise.all, promise.raise, and all those things. So you can explore that as well as a homework. And any doubts? So one more thing you need to remember from the previous explanation is like, so when JavaScript starts executing line by line, in line number 40, it defines a const variable. In line number 41, defines another const variable. Line number 43, another const variable. So these are synchronous. And as soon as it encounters the async function, it immediately places it inside the, you already know it, right? Like the web API will handle it. Like it will be moving along to the next line of code. So if you add a console log inside this code and a console log outside this code, the console log outside the code will be executed first. So you can try that as well. In line number 64, add a console log. Not exactly here. Yeah, you can add it here as well. Yes, console log. You can call it like inside async. Inside async. No, don't add it here. Don't add it there. Delete it. So call that inside async. In line number 45, call it inside async. No, inside async. Inside async. Inside async. And in line number 68, after line number 68, before that fetch post, call outside async. Sorry, write outside async. Now go to the browser and then open your console. And put it after the function call. Go back to the code. Put that outside async after the function call. The outside async, not the inside async. Yeah. Move it to line number 71. Yeah. Now go to the browser, inspect element. Not here. It won't be convenient. Yeah. Inspect element. Refresh again. Okay, go back to your code. I was trying to explain something, but it is totally. So what you can do here is like scroll up, totally copy that inside async and put it after that await. Yeah, after that await. Maybe before const data. Yes, before const data. Before const data, not const response. Now go back to the browser and try refreshing it. So now, even though you have called the function first and then console logged outside async is printing first and inside async is printing next. So the reason why is like, go back to the code. So whenever browser encounters async, it will run in a separate place. So we spoke about the callbacks, the promises, as well as the event loop as well, right? So this is where this event loop comes in. So whenever the browser encounters a async function, now inside there you can see you are making a fetch call, which is a web API. So the web API will be handled in a separate place. So the browser has something called a task queue. So one of them is like micro task queue and one of them is macro task queue. The promises and the fetch API and everything comes under this micro task queue. So it will be placed there, and once this fetch API is completed, it will be added back to the actual call stack. Okay. So until then, it will go ahead and execute the next piece of code. So it won't wait for the whole the fetch API to happen, since it is a async function. Line number 44, you have clearly put this is a async function. So whenever you put this, you are telling the browser, don't wait for this whole function to execute. Go ahead and execute the other piece of code. So in this case, scroll down. In this case, in line number 73, you are clearly saying outside async. So which means the browser will stop, will not stop like executing the whole function. Instead, it will go ahead and execute the outside async, and then once the API call is completed, it will console log the inside async. Okay. So the reason browser does that is like I said, there is only one single thread executing all these things. So if you block that one single thread, everything will be frozen. You cannot move the mouse and everything and all those things. So that's why whenever the browser encounters a function, it will execute it separately. And then once that completes executing, it will do whatever it wants after that. Okay. All right. Maybe tomorrow we will see more promise related methods like promise.all and all those stuff. Today we can wrap it here. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thanks.
you.